Coming up, Clovis police are looking for the person responsible for setting fire to this playground, how you can help and how much damage was caused.
Voting and then holding the people that you vote for accountable.
Protesters outside of the Fort Worth City Hall meeting share their thoughts. We'll tell you what they're asking for.
And lovely fall weather has returned to the Texas Panhandle tomorrow, even warmer, but the wildfire threat may increase. More in a moment.
Live from your local news leader, KAMR Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A fire at a playground in Clovis caused more than $1,000 in damage, and police $100,000 rather in damage. Police are still looking for the culprit. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Jackie is on assignment. This is an update to a story that we first told you about yesterday. So let's get to our top story today at 5. Here's what we know. Clovis Fire Department said that it happened yesterday afternoon at a playground north of Arts Academy at Bella Vista. Staff at the school were evacuated. No students were there. Take a look at this picture here. Again, $100,000 in damage. You can see some of the bars and walkways were burned. Police are investigating this as an arson case. Again, students were not at school that day. Classes were canceled today due to residual smoke. A teen from Emerald is dead after a wreck at the Tri-State Fairgrounds. Emerald police say it happened last night at 8 on the 400 block of South Grand. They say 19-year-old Adrian Ruiz was driving when he lost control and hit a livestock barn at the fairgrounds. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Hundreds of people crowded Fort Worth City Hall last night. It was the first meeting of the Fort Worth City Council since Saturday's shooting of Atiana Jefferson by Fort Worth police officer Aaron Dean. Those who signed up to speak were let inside the meeting, while many more stood outside the building and aired their grievances. Most called for the resignation of the city manager and assistant city manager for what they called complicit behavior in the treatment of predominantly minority communities. On Monday, Officer Dean was arrested and charged with murder. 50,000 General Motors employees could be returning to work soon. More on details behind their latest deal. But first, let's take a look at the forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist John Harris. Hello, John.
Hey there, Andy. I tell you what, it's a beautiful fall day to be out and about. And as we pan across the downtown area, of course, we continue with the demolition underway at the AIG building. Very fascinating to watch these fellows work, and I tell you what, the weather's perfect to be out and about doing anything, playing around a golf, in fact. Let's take it over to the graphics and show you what we have right now. You'll notice some rain showers well south of us. That's along the frontal boundary, the same one that gave us the windy, cool weather yesterday, but around this part of the world, just a lovely day to be outside. Winds are out the south at about 16 miles per hour. Check out the temperature in downtown, 71. Out at the airport, we have 72 degrees, and our day planner forecast, lovely conditions for this evening. 7 p.m. we're back in the 60s. 10 o'clock, starlight and 56 in the morning. We'll wake up to a low of 46 degrees. Tomorrow will be a warmer day, but for some counties, the wildfire threat may start to creep back into the forecast. Plus, we're checking out that 7-day forecast. Any hopes for rain? More in a moment. Andy?
Well, we certainly could use it, John. Thank you. Okay. Well, it took 5 weeks, but General Motors has finally reached a deal to end a strike by 50,000 of its workers. The tentative agreement was announced by negotiators this afternoon. Back in September, employees walked off the job protesting their pay, benefits, and the treatment of temporary workers. The strike lasted 31 days and cost GM about $1.5 billion in profit. The United Auto Workers Union says it worked to get fair contracts for workers, but there's no word on when employees will return to work. The deal still needs approval by both union leadership as well as GM leaders before it can take effect. Democratic presidential candidates taking the stage in Westerville, Ohio in a critical debate that could reshape the race for the nomination. Steve Nannis has the highlights. That story from your local election headquarters.
12 Democratic candidates sharing one stage on Tuesday night with one goal in mind: to make a lasting impression with millions of voters watching at home.
This president, and I agree with Bernie, Senator Sanders, is the most corrupt president in modern history, and I think all of our history.
Also front and center, Senator Elizabeth Warren, whose surge in the polls has put her under the intense spotlight typically reserved for frontrunners.
And I don't understand why you believe the only way to deliver affordable coverage to everybody is to obliterate private plans.
Senator Warren, I've been talking to Americans around the country about automation, and they're smart.
She has yet to describe her tax plan.
Healthcare once again a major topic, with candidates sparring over a Medicare for All plan backed by the more progressive candidates or a more moderate approach.
Medicare for All is the gold standard. It is the way we get health care coverage for every single American.
The issue is whether the Democratic Party has the guts to stand up to the healthcare industry.
The focus also on Syria, as candidates took aim at President Trump's decision to pull U.S. forces, allowing Turkey and Russia to move in.
Our president blew it, and now he's too proud to say it. And what do we do now?
And with time running out until the first votes are cast in February, some candidates came out swinging.
When I think about where we are right now in 2020, I do believe justice is on the ballot.
Tearing each other down because we have a different plan, to me, is unacceptable.
We have an erratic, crazy president who knows not a damn thing about foreign policy.
I'm Steve Nannis reporting.
The House of Representatives has officially laid out their opposition to the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Syria. House members overwhelmingly approved a resolution opposing the Trump administration's move. The measure drew support from both Democrats and Republicans. Both parties have criticized President Trump's decision to pull American troops from northeastern Syria, which clears a path for Turkey to attack Kurdish forces there. The Kurds are allies of the U.S. and helped fight alongside those troops against ISIS. Yesterday's joint resolution could come up for a vote in the Senate next. It already has bipartisan support in the chamber as well. For more political coverage, local, state, and national, head over to our website, myhighplains.com. The next time you go see a performance at WT's Music Hall, it'll be one of a kind. Coming up, how they're using new technology to deliver an unforgettable experience.
And once again, we continue with a lovely Wednesday evening to be out and about. We are checking your end of the week forecast in a few minutes. News and weather continues after the break.